salmon and spring roll wrapped. That's what we're making. Salmon wrapped in spring roll wrappers. Okay? We're going to use some extra virgin olive oil. You can use cooking grease if you like to, but I tell you all the time I like to use a healthy oil when I can. Soy sauce, the marin, rice vinegar, hoisin sauce, sesame seed oil, some rosemary, some garlic. We're going to use some green onions. We're going to use some ginger, brown sugar, light or dark, doesn't matter. We're going to use some spring roll wrappers, and of course, the star of the show, which wasn't a bad price. I got this from Sam's. All right, here is your shot of everything we're going to use to make this delicious meal. Let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to do is make the marinade, and we're going to go in with some of this marin, if I'm pronouncing it right, marin and myrin, and you need about 4 tablespoons of this. Okay, you need about 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay, and then we're going to also use about a tablespoon of ginger, maybe a little more. Okay, then we're going to use some of this garlic, and for the garlic you only need a tablespoon. We're not going to get too happy this time, not with the garlic. As much as I love it, I'm not going to get too happy this go round. And then we're going to go in with some of this brown sugar. And for the brown sugar, you need about 4 tablespoons of it as well. Okay? And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Gigi's always doing some deliciousness up in here. And so we're going to whisk that all together. Get those flavors all mixed. Get to marrying. Get to knowing one another. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to slide over a dish over here where we're going to go ahead and we're going to marinate this fish. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is pour a little bit of this sauce in the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to take that fish and I'm going to kind of rub it in there. And you want to use a shallow dish when doing this. And try not to bruise up your fish too much. And I just sliced it up into some pieces. They're not uniformed at all. Not at all. Okay, and this is, like I said, this is a really delicious dish, and you can just do this to the salmon alone. You don't even have to put it in the wrappers. I've done that. I don't know if I've done a video. I've done so many videos, and I do mean I've done a lot. I think I have like over 800 videos out there, something like that. It's a lot. I'm always cooking. And then I'm going to take the rest of that marinade, and I'm just going to drizzle it over the top of that fish. Okay. And we're going to let this sit on one side for 2 minutes. And then flip it over and let it do the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over now. And then I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to flip her again, okay? Because I want that sauce to get all in that fish. We want it all in that fish. We want that fish to have every bit of that flavor, because that's some really good marinade we have there. Okay? So make sure you get every side. Okay? Make sure you get every side of that fish. You want every side of that fish to get a little taste of that, okay? And this is perfect sauce for grilling. You can put this salmon on the grill at this point. And oh my goodness, I've done that. And let me tell you, it is absolutely amazing. Okay, so like I said, we're going to let this sit for 2 minutes. And while that's sitting, before we go to the flipping it again, okay, I'm going to show you what we're going to do while we're waiting on this fish to do what it do. All right, I'm going to move it out the way, and I'll be right back. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this pan heating. I'm not going to put my olive oil in it until my pan is already ready, because you know olive oil will burn on you, okay? So I'm going to let this pan heat up, and I'm going to give it 2 minutes to heat up. While it's heating up, I'm going to go and rinse off some of these dishes. But when it's heated up, it'll be time for us to flip the salmon, all right? So I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, now that this pan is good and screaming hot, we're going to go in with, I would say, about 3 tablespoons, enough to kind of cover the bottom. You see how that broke up? You know your pan is good and hot and ready to go. So now we're going to go ahead. It doesn't matter at this point whether you do it skin down, bottom side, all that pretty. It doesn't matter for this one, okay? So we're going to just kind of dap some of that off and put it on in this pan. We're going to get it all in there. All the pieces should fit. And do not throw away the marinade that we made in the bottom of that pan, because we're going to do something with that too, okay? So do not throw that away. We're not done with that. We're going to use that to start our dipping sauce, okay? So please do not throw it away. I think I can get all these pieces in here. All right, so we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes on both sides. I'll come back when it's time to flip. All right, it's been 5 minutes and I've went ahead and flipped. So we're gonna do another 5 minutes and they'll be done. It's just that you gotta be real careful when flipping them, because they'll break apart. Okay, so 5 minutes. I'll take these out the skillet and we're gonna move on to that sauce. Maybe I'll do the wrapper and then we'll do the sauce. So we're going to finish this up first. 5 minutes, I'll be back. All right, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of cold water just to cover the bottom of this pan. Hold on. Okay, I forgot to grab an item. Okay, we got our water there. I forgot a little rice paper. And you put this in the water just for about 30 seconds, and then it's going to turn pliable on you where you'll be able to use it. It doesn't take long at all. It does not take long. And don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. Like and subscribe to the channel. Gigi is always doing something. And this is a delicious, delicious dish. And then when you do it, if it gets too wet, just take a paper towel and kind of damp it. Real easy, real peasy. Yep, just take a little paper towel and just kind of damp it. Okay? To make it a little bit more pliable for you. I mean, well, where it's not so wet. Okay? And you got to work with this stuff pretty fast, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put down some green onions. I'm going to grab a piece of that salmon. And I'm just going to wrap her up. That's it. That's all we're doing. That is all we are doing. And I'm going to close it up on the ends. And our first one is done. Look at that. And then I'm just going to keep going just like that. Put it in the water. I just kind of hold on to one of the sides, because if you get it off in there and you can't get it out, that'll be a whole waste of one. I'm going to show you how I'll do one more, and then I'll finish the rest off on camera. Okay? Need a good 30 seconds in this water, because you just need it pliable, workable. Okay? Because we're still going to do something different with this. Okay? We're not done with it. Okay? Just going to pat it dry just a little bit. Yes, my counter is absolutely clean. Get another piece of that salmon. Okay. Some more of those green onions. It's up to you how many you use. It doesn't matter. And then just close it up on the ends. May not be the prettiest, but it gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? There's another one. And I'm going to keep going. I'll be back. All right, that's how many I got. Now I got the skillet heating up so that we can go ahead and get started on that. I'll be right back. All right, we're heating the pan up, and I'm going to cook mine in olive oil as well. You can use vegetable oil if you like, but I'm going to be using olive oil because we're just going to kind of brown them on both sides. I'll be back. All right, I'm going to go in the same way with enough olive oil to cover the bottom of the pan. Well, that's the end of that olive oil, so we're just going to use it all up. So this pan has been heating for a couple of minutes. And now we're just going to go ahead and fry these. And when we do it this go round, we're going to go in seam side first because we want that side to make sure that it stays intact. Okay? So we're going to go seam side down. And then we're going to cook this for a couple of minutes while it browns on each side. That's it. And it'll be done. Dinner will be on the table. Everybody will be able to eat. And yum, yum, I'm telling you, you better make some. This is absolutely delicious. Okay, so I'm just going to finish putting these in, and I'll be right back. All right, I almost got all of them in here. You don't want these to touch because they will fry touching each other, which will rip the spring roll apart, okay? So you want to make sure you give them some space in there. And then so it should only take about 2 to 3 minutes each side. And in the meantime, we're getting ready to get started on that sauce. I'll be right back. All right, we've got this on a low heat. I'm going to go in with some of that rice vinegar. All you need is about a tablespoon. We're going to put in, I would say, about a tablespoon of rosemary. More like a teaspoon. And then we're going to go in with a tablespoon of the hoisin sauce. Okay. And then we're going to go in with about a teaspoon. There we go. Of the sesame oil. And then we're just going to let all this heat through. And that's it. But we're just going to let that heat through, warm through. And it has to warm completely through because remember we had raw fish in that. So you want to give this about 5 minutes minimum. And let it warm all the way through and cook through and get all yum, yum, yummy. So while that's cooking, we're going to cook this. Okay? All right. And I'll be back. And it's looking absolutely amazing over here. Look at that. Okay, I'll be back. And there she is. There's our dipping sauce. I let her cook for 5 minutes. Things made easy with Gigi. All day, every day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to share. Everybody be blessed and stay safe. You know you're going to see Gigi next time. Take care, you guys.